next up from our Star Wars Epic Duels conversion set by Koi will be Mace Windu here, the purple lightsaber master himself, and his 2 clone troopers. And just like every other video, we gotta replace everything here from Epic Duels with stuff that lines more up with Unmatched, including the nice big old purple deck here with Samuel Jackson in the middle. And we can also take our miniature and replace it with one that is more like with Unmatched. I really like how this one turned out, the way his robe there is kind of flown in the wind a little bit. Very cool. Inked off to the side. We don't also forget our hero card there. And then we also have to take our sidekick miniatures here. Unfortunately, in Epic Duels, they are miniatures, but in Unmatched, we're going to be replacing them with 2 little tokens here. Mr. Stormtrooper number 2 and Stormtrooper number 5. That lines up with the original Epic Duels 2 and 5 there. And speaking of which, we will also be getting rid of our health tracker here with some health dials that line up with Unmatched, and once again having that 2 and that 5 to line up with our 2 Stormtroopers there, or sorry, Clone Troopers. The Clone Troopers, because we are in the prequels right now, not in the sequels. And we can get right into it. So let's blast on through and start with our hero card here for Mace Windu. He is a melee fighter with 19 health with 2 move, and then he has 2 clone trooper sidekicks that are both ranged with 4 health. And our hero ability here is your maximum hand size is 10 instead of 7. At the end of your turn, if you maneuvered at least twice this turn, you may draw 1 card. And I will notice that it does say not both of your maneuver or both your actions are maneuvers. Potentially you can gain some actions, and then at least 2 of them, not in a row, are maneuvers. You get that extra draw, which, hey, with a maximum hand size of 10, you do not mind the extra draw here. And so with Mace Windu here, you'll see kind of a theme here with his high hand limit there, where you're going to be having a lot of cards and a couple of ways to take advantage of those high cards, which is great for some new players, because I feel like one of the #1 responses I get from people who first learn Unmatched is they're like, I never have enough cards. I'm always maneuvering and then I don't have enough cards to defend myself or attack. So this is a great one just to absolutely overload your hand. But once again, as we all know, if you overload that hand, you're going to be running out of cards in the deck and then eventually taking exhaustion damage with too much draw there. So let's get right into it here, starting with a 5 attack here for Mace Windu with 1 boost, 2 copies. And this is Masterful Fighting. After combat, draw 1 card. So yes, we are getting even more cards on top of that extra card draw we already have from the hero power there. And then going now into our Versatile with a Versatile of 0 for Mace Windu with 4 boost and 4 copies. And this is Battle Mind. During combat, the value of this card is equal to the number of cards in your hand after playing this card. So keep in mind, we have a max of 10, so the most this can be is a 9. So potentially you have 9 value attacks here and defenses with these 4 cards. But since it's kind of definitely staged where you're going to know when the opponent has a butt ton of cards and he can potentially play one of these, so it's an easy card to feint or know that they're going to defend with a big huge value. So although very strong, it can also be very weak, but you can also just use these for good boost values depending. So next here into our schemes here already with Mace Windu. This is a scheme with boost value of 1 and 2 copies, and this is Whirlwind Attack. Deal 2 damage to each opposing fighter adjacent to Mace Windu. Very fun, and it's each opposing fighter, so you can't have your clone troopers there and they will not be taking damage. And I love the way this art came out on there. Very cool. We have 2 of those. Next here for Mace Windu, another scheme with 2 boost and 4 copies, and this is Wisdom. Move one of your fighters up to 5 spaces, draw 1 card. So more card draw there and potentially saving yourself from maneuvering too many times there. And then now we're already into our Clone Trooper cards here with a 3 Versatile with 2 boost, 2 copies, and this is for the Republic. After combat, if you won the combat, return this card to your hand. I really like that, because that way you can keep kind of playing over and over with your Clone Troopers and just poking at people, because sometimes you don't always guard big against your little sidekicks if you don't think they're going to be doing too much damage, but that 3 poking at you or defending at you a bunch of times can definitely keep those Clone Troopers dealing damage and surviving. And then next here for the Clone Troopers is a 2 Versatile with 3 boost, 3 copies, and this is Coordinated Fire. After combat, deal 1 damage to the opposing fighter for each Clone Trooper in their zone. And I believe we saw this exact same card with our other Clone Trooper deck, so it's great to see that again. And now we're into our Any cards with an Any attack of 3 with 1 boost, 2 copies, and this is This Party's Over. After combat, draw 1 card and gain 1 action. Until the end of this turn, your card's effects cannot be cancelled. This effect may still be cancelled, because obviously the opponent gets to go first anyways if you're the attacker. So very cool that you can kind of set yourself up to make sure that you're not canceled, like that big 9 value there if you have those 9 cards. And then next here is a 0 defense for any with 2 boost, 3 copies, and this is Keepers of the Peace. During combat, for each time your opponent has attacked or schemed this turn, add +3 to the value of this card and draw 1 card. So very, very cool. So not going to be strong if it's the first attack against you, but if they've attacked you multiple times or they've been scheming and doing other stuff beforehand, this is definitely going to be some nice big advantage, but your opponent knows you have it, so they potentially might just attack you straight away instead of playing schemes or stuff beforehand. And then next here we have a 1 versatile for any with 3 boost 2 copies, and this is Refocus. After combat, shuffle 1 card from your discard pile into your deck. If you won the combat, shuffle 2 cards instead. So I like this. We got Regroup, but it's Refocus, and you are shuffling cards back into your deck, which you definitely want to have if you're having too much card draw. It's kind of almost like healing in a way. And then next here we have 2 versatile for any with 1 boost 3 copies, and this is I Sense Great Confusion in You. Immediately cancel the effects of your opponent's card. After combat, if it is your turn and you have at least 3 more cards in hand than your opponent, gain 1 action. So potentially that could go off a lot if your opponent has very low cards and you're staying on the higher end, but if they also stay on the higher end, it's going to be a little bit tough to get that extra action gain there. And plus, sometimes you don't want that extra action gain with all the cards you're going to be drawing there. And the next here is a 2 versatile for any with 2 boost 3 copies, and this is Fear Cloud's Judgment. During combat, if you have at least 3 more cards in hand than your opponent, the value of this card is 5. After combat, if you won the combat, move any fighter up to 2 spaces. So definitely a very interesting card there as well. So yeah, a nice easy deck. There's a lot of big duplicates in this deck, so we kind of went through it fast. We can go right into my final thoughts. So you already kind of heard my final thoughts right in the beginning there. I do feel like this deck is great for new players because they have just so much cards, and also makes the round go a little bit faster with how much card draw is happening. So it definitely feels like they have a lot of resources and kind of an easy way to learn the game instead of constantly feeling scarce with the resources you have. And as I said, I don't know a whole lot about Mace Windu's lore besides what you see in the movies, and it's obviously not that much because he's not like a huge main character, but definitely a good character in the storyline. So I do feel like it captures at least a fun gameplay style. I don't know if it specifically fits with Mace Windu, but I trust Koi on this one. I think he did a great job with this deck, just as he has with all of the other decks in this conversion. So we only have 2 more decks to check out in this conversion set, but I gotta go. My toast is burning.